Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dorian here with episode number 1 of the laning phase. This is just something new that I'm going to be trying out for you guys here. A lot of people said they wanted to see something on this kind of lines. So, in this series, we're going to focus on things that you're going to want to do in the lane and some things that you don't want to do in lane too. And instead of just talking about random stuff or anything like that, I'm just going to talk about this game and everything that I do in this game. So, I'll just jump right into it. Um, this game, you'll see I'm playing Orianna against a brand that has blue middle. The game started off a little bit late at level 2. He killed some guy on my team, I think, that had blue buff, or they just let him have it. Either way, in this one, we're going to be showing how to kind of fight off some other AP carry mid when he's got blue and you don't. So we're going to play a little bit defensive here, and we're going to try and focus on some last hits. A few other things, if you don't already know, the melee creeps, they can take 2 tower hits and then you can last hit them. But the range creeps kind of have a funny little... They can get hit twice and get crushed, or get hit once and be left with like 20% and you can't one-hit them. When I go back here, I'm going to make sure I get a ward, and I'll get another Doran's ring as well too. Um, if you guys have a problem with this sped up version of this, let me know in the comments as well too. I had a lot of people saying they didn't want to watch too many different videos, and I didn't really want to waste your time, actually, more than anything. I really didn't want to waste any more of your guys' time than I had to. So now that his blue buff is gone, though, I'm going to try and harass this guy as often as I can. um, for this version of the laning phase, this is just going to be like the AP mid version. I don't think I'm going to do a video for every single hero in the AP class, just maybe 1 or 2 of each, and then I'll do one for AD carries bottom, and some bruisers, or whatever you want to call them, tanky DPS top. I'll do that later. When this guy's gone and this guy leaves, instead of pushing the lane, one of the things you could do is push, or not push, sorry, try and gank top or bottom. It's just really simple things that you can do that you don't normally do. Instead of sitting there and farming the lane and getting a couple extra creeps, which is good. I mean, you could just go and you could try and get a kill. It was really funny too. I was talking to this Mord in the chat before the game, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just on ROG right now reading." So it's kind of funny running into this guy. A bunch of things that you want to do in the laning aspect of any game as an AP carry is determine and decide whether or not you're going to be harassing or if you're just going to be trying to farm. With most AP heroes, you do want to be harassing, because harassing doesn't just equal them losing life, it equals them not being able to... That guy died from my ignite, and that means when you harass them, not only do they lose life, which is the obvious part of it, but the other side of it is that they don't get the last hit. You get zoned, all these other little things that go with it. When I go back here, I buy another Doran's ring. I make sure I pick up another ward, and I get Sork boots, just because I'm out farming this guy like a beast, and I just want to keep my advantage on this guy and keep doing as much damage as I can. The skill order that I go with Orianna in this game, just max the Q, and then I'll get a shield. After that will be maxed. This is so cool right there. I love that part. Vayne disappears, do my ult, Ash arrows. Super sick. I love that. Skill order though, like I was saying, max the Q, get the ball. I've seen a lot of people maxing the E first, which is like the pop out, or no, sorry, the W, which is like the stasis field. It's like a little bit of AoE, and I can understand that because it does have a little bit more AoE range than the Q does. So if you want to do that, I mean, go ahead. I mean, it won't bother me. But for this game, I maxed the Q, and then I leveled the W, and then I get the E, and every level of the ultimate, obviously, you get that. Every time I go back, you'll notice that I get a ward. It's very important that you guys continue to do this in the laning phase, whether or not you're winning or losing. Winning makes sure that you don't get ganked again from that vision that you do get from the ward. And if you're losing, well, then you don't want to go any farther into the hole that you've already been. If you guys want to see anything specific in the comments or on the ROG forums, right on the thread even is where you could post it. this guy, I just totally expect him to not be an idiot and fucking run away from me. So I pop my ult and totally whiff it on him. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he had some sixth sense knowing that I was going to be there. At the exact same time, I saw Warwick was coming and I knew he was going to dive. So I knew that I didn't have to. So if you're wondering why I didn't go after that kill any farther than I did, it was because on the mini map I was watching and I did see that Warwick was there and he was going to pick up that kill. So he was just giving me a free assist, I guess. And then at this point, you might be wondering, well, why is the game sped up and why is it called the laning phase when you're showing the whole game? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be calling this series the laning phase, and it'll have anything from the beginning all the way up to the end in it. So I just want to show how to lane as a certain hero, be it AP or AD, whatever it is. I just want to show that from beginning to start and kind of shrink the time down so you guys don't have to watch too many different videos, because you'll get the same kind of idea from this 15 minutes that you will from like a 30-minute video from anywhere else. I'll go back here. I think I might even sell the ward. No, maybe, no. Yeah, I think I sell it. Yeah, I sell the ward, so don't learn anything from me there. Don't sell wards. I could have sold the Dorian's thing, but I was like, I don't really want to lose the 100 HP right now, and I kind of need the mana regen, seeing as I don't have any. One thing that I hate about Orianna is when the ball's super far away, it doesn't come back to you, and it takes forever to get to where it's gonna be. I try to go over here and save this guy with my combo, but he's dead before I get there, and I almost end up dying out of it. One of the things that you can do as well too, this isn't really classifying anything in the laning phase or anything like that, but you can try and bait people when you see your team coming. And for some reason I thought there was 2 people coming to help me, so I kind of baited that guy into dying instead. But baiting is an option when you see that you have teammates around you, so keep that in mind. These guys here are just big babies. They won't even attack the tower. There's nobody around that can hurt them, and it ends up turning around really badly. Thanks a lot for all the likes, comments, and everything like that on the other videos. This series will be separate from my other one, so I'll be making videos, commentaries for. I'm trying to. I think what I want to do is make commentaries for every hero in the game, and then, that's an impossible goal to reach. So I figure I may as well set something high for that series. And as for this one, there won't be nearly as many episodes just because there's only so many things that you can do in the laning phase. So later on, expect to see some ranged guys, and then definitely some other heroes in there as well too. In the team fight battles though, this part of the laning phase, you want to be in the back of the fights, and that just kind of seems obvious though. You're going to be taking the most damage if you're sitting there in the front lines, and if you're in the front lines, that's the last place your hero is supposed to be. You want to let these heroes like or your Mordekaiser and your Amumu go first, like I have on my team. So let those guys go first. One little rule of thumb that you can have for playing AP carries, or even AD carries for that matter, you can wait 1 or 2 full seconds before actually like entering the fight, just because you know that if you're the first one in there, everybody's just gonna see you turn and aggro straight to you, and you'll like just taunt them by being in the area just because they want to kill you. And you'll see that happen a lot if you get kill streaks or if you're talking shit, anything. That arrow just barely misses. Too good. And see what I do I try and stay out of the way, and then as soon as they focus me, I get back out of there as soon as I can. So keep an eye on that Taric. Keep an eye on that Taric. Watch that Taric. And then there goes that Taric. The good thing about staying in the back of the fights, though, is that you do get the other teammates, you get your teammates to soak the damage for you. Yes, that's the good part for you. But the other good part as well, too, is that hopefully they'll pop their ultimates and all their cooldowns on your tanks, so that when you do enter the fight and you are fighting, that all of those things that can hurt you aren't going to continue doing that. And this guy is a straight up douchebag. If you're doing this and you're playing games, I understand Amumu is a very mana hungry hero, but you don't need to be taking my blue buff on a caster 25 minutes into the game here. This guy, I called him the Golem Nazi. So this guy was actually really funny, even though he didn't let me get the blue buff. We talked for a while after the game, and he ended up being a pretty good guy. All things said and done. Um, the one thing that you can do, and I don't know if this is just something. Wow, that guy gets caught so many times. This game is so funny. This Amumu is really good though. That's probably one of the funniest double kills I've ever had in my life. Because she died getting pulled. So she died and then her body just like pulled her dead body from one spot to the other. Because the damage of her being pulled is what killed her. Um, oh yeah, one of the little tips that you have for Orianna, or that I have for Orianna, sorry. You throw the Q, which is your ball, and you immediately cast the shield on yourself or something near you, and then what'll happen is you'll get two little different sources of damage there, and you'll get twice as much the deeps going. So try to catch up to somebody here, but I don't think we ever see that. What that character was really smart. He didn't go with the other guy. He ran off some other way, and then he didn't really give me much of an option on which way to go. So I try to catch up over here, and it looks like I'm like just dead. But he throws me out of the way, put my shield on, run away, and then I stay in the fight, try and throw some shields on some people. Then I get scared, throw it on myself instead. And then everybody gets scared and they back up. I still sit there and I farm. I don't think out of the 3 dragons that my team has had, I've even been at one of them. So that just goes to show that you don't have to be there. What you can be doing is you can be pushing the lane. Because if you're pushing the lane, not only are they going to worry about you and being there and wanting to gank you, they're not going to be thinking about the dragon. So what I'm doing isn't really the best situation, but there are a little few good things that do come from it. So you'll look at my build here and you notice that I got an Archangel staff. The only reason why I did that was because this guy was being a fucking jerk off and he wasn't letting me have the blue. This is not a build that I'd normally recommend following for Orianna, but it's just something I chose for this game specifically. More so just because I was so far ahead and I knew that I could get away with it. Normally I just go straight for the Void staff, or you can just go into Zonia's, whatever you like. This part's really funny though. He tries to come and steal it. I stop doing damage, and then I steal it anyways. And then he has a little speech about how he wishes, or he hopes that he doesn't run out of mana, and then not able to ult anymore. It's really funny. 1 sec. I'm sorry for anybody that's listening to this and they know that my voice sounds different. I'm still trying to fight off the same little summer cold that I got from a couple nights ago from partying with my buddies. Hopefully it's not too annoying to anybody else. It's very annoying to me though, having to deal with it. And that is another reason why my videos kind of have been coming out on a slower rate in the last couple of days. I haven't been able to do it. I've been trying to get better, but it's just not going away. Today is the first day that I felt like I was even going to be able to be doing any of this. See, this fight here, I didn't... I did it again to that guy. I didn't mean to come into the fight so late, but you'll notice that when I do, all these other guys are taking all sorts of amount of sweet damage. And this Mort almost dies there too. The guy laughs at him. A couple things that you want to be doing at this point in the game. Keep trying to stay back. I know I've said that a couple times already, but you do want to stay back because the moment that you get picked off is the moment that all of the damage that your team is expecting you to do just disappears and the fight will turn, you know? Because nothing turns games around faster than somebody getting caught or somebody just screwing up and being in bad positioning. And that's another thing I want you guys to think about and watch in the next couple versions of the laning phase. Just the positioning that I kind of have. Sometimes you'll notice that my positioning isn't ideal, but I'm never usually in a bad spot. And that's kind of how you want to be at all points of the game. You don't want to ever put yourself in a bad position, just because if you do, then people are going to capitalize on it, right? We have the Ashe this game, so we can capitalize on mistakes like that. But if you get some sort of like noob singed with flash or something, he can just fling you back into the team. So just keep your eyes open and try not to do too many stupid things. Right there, that just seemed like a pretty safe idea to flash out of there. I know that if I don't flash out of that specific spot right there, what's going to happen is I'm going to get stunned for like 10 hours. But that's the end of the game, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think.